different ways they figure out the hardest hole on a golf course. One, distance, and then two, how hard it is. All right, so hole number 5 here, 493 yards, hardest hole, even for the ladies. In this case, it looks like they chose distance. This hole is by far the longest par 4 on the golf course. Even though I think there's a couple other harder ones, it almost plays 500 yards. Originally used to be a par 5 that is converted into a par 4. So when you see the landing areas on this par 4 are very, very small because normally balls weren't landing there. Welcome to the hardest hole here at ASU golf course. 500 yards right here. 493 right up there. When they originally built this hole, they originally built it as a par 5. So this tee box right here normally plays as a par 5. But it was a little too easy for the college players, so they decided to turn this hole into a par 4. So right now, 493 yards into about a 7-mile-an-hour breeze, maybe a little less, into the fan. Let's see if I can make par better. There are trees to worry about over to the left, a bundle of trees. Normally that's where you find your ball. And then there's a series of bunkers right around the right side over there. There's also a bunker right there that basically where your ball finishes almost every time, and that sits about 200 yards out. Well, step 1 accomplished on this treacherous par 4 that used to be a par 5. Stripe that thing right down the middle, nice little baby cut. Basically the hardest part of this golf shot, or this golf hole, is that it is not short and you need to hit the fairway in order to give yourself a clear shot into this green. You'll see coming up here, this green is protected by some serious mounds, and if you put yourself in trouble left or right, chances are you're not going to get there in 2. See here, I just absolutely striped this one. There's that bunker that I was talking about, just in line with my golf ball right there. So that thing would have funneled definitely in there. This is the typical spot that everybody kind of finds, is this treed area right here, which gives you a tough little angle into the green. And then if you look over to the right side of the ball, normally that water isn't there. This is not a hazard, just a big sand trap. But this gives you an idea how small this landing area is. So you can see, I'll zoom in, the green all the way up there, and you can see those 2 pot bunkers right there that are protecting the front of it. But that green's another 40 plus behind it, so it's very, very deceiving on the second shot here. Right here I got 200 yards. So I got 200 on the nose, got a little wind into me. I'm gonna blast a 6-iron. That's left. That's going to be a tough up and down. It's much more difficult to play a golf hole, play a golf approach shot when you can't see the green. The pros have a very, very hard time when they can't see that green, when it's elevated just a little bit or there's something protecting it. You got to really trust it. I'm basically taking a look back at hole number 5 here. The landing area is just right there in the center, guarded by bunkers to the right, bunker to the left, and trees to the left as well. Pot bunker, 40 yards to the hole, a couple other bunkers in place. Normally on a par 4, especially a par 4 as long as this, you normally have a bigger green. But since they made this as a par 5, this green size is super, super tiny, which actually makes this hole even tougher, being that it's a par 4 right at 500 yards. The green consists of basically 3 different sections. You have a section right here, you have a section kind of in the middle right here, and then a very, very small section over there. So relatively flat green, really the only thing that this has got going for it, but has very, very subtle breaks, and it's real confusing sometimes of which way the ball's going on this hole. Well, you can tell why this is the #1 handicap hole at ASU Karsten. Well, shoot. Number 5 got me. Started this new series on the wrong note, but you know what? It can only get better, right? Hole 5, great par 4. Like I said, it used to be a par 5, so I can see why it's #1 handicap now, just because of the length. It also provides a challenge for each shot. Not only the tee shot stuff, but the approach shot, being that it's blind behind these mounds over here, makes it extremely difficult. Hole number 5, until next time.